Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I am live. Yes, believe it or not, y'all know that this is a miracle if you see me late like this. Talk black to me. We're making history on the Vicki Show right here on my new channel, Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube. That's Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube. So many of you have said, Vicki, where have you been? We miss you on some of the other large platforms. Let everybody know, you know, that your sister with the curly braids has started her own channel where I go live weekly. You all know that I was putting it down before anybody else was 5 days a week here, beloved. But because of my health, I don't go live as much. And I'm finally building my own. So you can expect me to go live at least on a Monday or Tuesday or both weekdays, okay? Until I let you know more in the future, okay? Thank you so much. But right now, family, on the count of 3, I need you to give us a big thumbs up, and share this broadcast. I have got something to talk to you about. Some of you all probably have already heard this because our beloved Black grassroots family, particularly on social media, has given this white publication, Rolling Stones, out of the UK, this everlasting work. Somebody black talk black to me. Are y'all hearing what I'm talking about? Baby, we not playing with folks' funny looking selves. Let me just let my Instagram family know real quick, family, that I'm live. I'm just going to tell them live real quick. But while we're doing that, family, on the count of 3, for those of you that have it, on the count of 3, that's why I'm holding my phone so I can tell my Instagram family that we are live really quick. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button and share. As you can tell, the notifications have not gone out, but that's okay. I always believe at the right time, the right people will hear this broadcast. So on the count of 3, everybody, please hit that thumbs up button and share. Let them know that your sister with the curly braids is on live for a brief war briefing tonight. I have a long appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to miss you. So I said, let me just come late tonight. I had so much work to do all day. So I said, I'm just going to be up late with my people. Are you ready? On the count of 3, let's hit that thumbs up button and share. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. 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 Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share. Thank you so very much. And family, don't forget to join my weekly mastermind school under Vicki University. Yes, beloved, there's a Vicki University at work in the world under VickiPlanet.com. That's my website. Go to VickiPlanet.com and you can join for an entire month's worth of masterminds for only $44 for a limited time. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. I want to get right on into today's topic. I don't know how many of you know. I see your Instagram. I see y'all coming on over there. Instagram. I want y'all to get ready to come over now to VickiDillard.tv, my new channel, okay, that I started on my own, okay? I want y'all to get ready to come on over. Thank you for your beautiful compliments, Instagram. Now, listen, fam. I came on late because I had to have this chit chat. Talk black to me. Family, Rolling Stones publication had the nerve to give this white boy the new title as the king of pop. Oh, baby, this is we finna talk about this real brief. This is your late night special. And I want us to tag Rolling Stones. And you all chime in because a lot of black folk have already chimed in as it is. But we're finna get into this. Now, some of you may not know the groundbreaking news coverage that I did sometime back, a year and some change ago. I did some back-to-back work, so I don't even remember the first time I did it. It was longer than that. But I know for sure, I think I did a follow-up on it about a year or so ago, giving you so many extraordinary receipts, questioning the narrative that the white media gave us about the death of our brother, Michael Jackson. Are y'all hearing me today? I provided you with some of those receipts also from one of our modern scholars, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I also checked some of his receipts and they were very good. And I provided you all with many, many, many of those. I want to briefly remind you of some of what happened. Now, some of you found yourselves dogging our brother Michael Jackson, and some of you black-looking people even actually believed that our brother was a pedophile. God, today. Black folks was running around here calling Michael Jackson crazy and stuff, and some of you were doing it because you were being moved by the pictures and the titles that the oppressive class was giving him. Many of you did not know the backstory. You did not know how our open enemy was accused by Michael Jackson. One of them in particular, we're going to talk about him briefly, David Geffen. Michael Jackson had an enemies list, and on the top of that enemies list, Michael Jackson said that David Geffen was at the top of that list. Some of you were fooled by a picture that the media used as evidence that Michael was a nut. And some of you are still that impressionable. God, today. You are still so easily fooled by what our open enemy tells you. But I'm going to explain to you why this is important. I titled today's broadcast, First Oprah, Now the Rolling Stones Disrespects Michael Jackson. Now I want to connect some dots for you briefly. You may now wonder, why is it that Vicki is often calling out and exposing black-looking people? Somebody say black-looking. I didn't say my true brothers and sisters. I said black-looking people. The reason why I do that is because there is a such thing as what? A wheat and a tear. What is a tear? A tear is a weed, W-E-E-D, that looks like wheat, but it's a fake. There's a such thing as true prophets and false prophets. Don't come to me talking about why are you attacking another brother or sister when you don't know the difference between a fake and the real thing. Now I have to start there because I got to set at ease some of your mind whenever I invoke the name Oprah, because some of y'all call her Auntie Oprah. Funny looking self. I have to disabuse you of certain narratives that you've been running around believing and stuff. God, today. Now, for those of you, again, that don't know the history, Oprah, on her 65th birthday a few years ago, celebrated on a man named David Geffen's yacht with her sister, Gail King. Now, amongst intelligent Black society, somebody say intelligent. Can somebody put some owls in the chat? God, today. Amongst intelligent Black society, we properly refer to Oprah and Gail as Okra and Kale. Somebody say we're serving up dinner tonight. God, today. Intelligent society appropriately calls them okra and kale. I invented the phrase LOM, hashtag LOM. Somebody put hashtag LOM in the chat. LOM, LOM, is the acronym for League of Mammies. The League of Mammies is a powerful sorority of Black-looking females who are strategically placed in influential platforms and places to benefit white supremacy and to work against Black people. Did you hear what I just said? Thumbs up, share, share, share. Did you hear what I just said? Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over to Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube. Instagram, come on over now to Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube or Instagram. You can hit the direct link at vickidillard.tv, okay? Come on over Instagram while I break this down briefly. Thank you so much. Did you all hear what I said? Somebody eat your vegetables. Somebody say okra and kale. I said somebody say okra and kale. Funny looking self. Now, the reason why I've had to expose I'm posting this on Instagram real quick, family. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Y'all know I'm a one-woman show. Talk black to me. And I'm doing it live, beloved. The reason I've had to expose okra and kale is because Oprah in particular, she used her platform to benefit white men and to attack Black men. She used her platform to benefit white men, and then she would turn around with her funny looking self and attack who? Black men. Talk black to me, somebody. Now, Oprah, nearly a decade after our brother Michael Jackson had passed, and some say murdered, but many amongst Black society, Black folks are saying they don't believe it was just Dr. Conrad, beloved, the Black doctor that's responsible for his death only. Did you hear what I just said? Amongst intelligent Black society, Black folks are asking questions. Somebody say we asking questions. Black folks are asking questions about what really happened to Michael Jackson, and if the story they've told us, and if the story they're telling us is really true. Now, we know that the devil is a liar. Somebody say the devil is a liar. Watch this. How many of you all know that, like in the Breonna Taylor case, like in the George Floyd case, and so many other Black cases that are known and unknown, we find out that the person that's responsible for the death of Black folks, they're the ones that you start to listen to for the whole story, while the dead can't speak for themselves. So some of our own people, with their impressionable little minds and stuff, God, today. Some of our own people with their little impressionable little minds and stuff, little fragile minds, little glass ceramic minds. So bump it and it breaks. God, today. Look at it and it breaks. Some of our fragile mind family have just believed what our open enemy said, And then what do they tend to do? They demonize the dead because they know that they know that the deceased can't speak for themselves. But beloved, we're going to speak for our brother. And thank God we were one of the ones that were on the front lines of asking intelligent questions and, more importantly, pulling receipts to get to the bottom of the truth. I have suggested this before, that we need not only investigatory agencies with the government, we need our own BIA, our own Black Intelligence Agency. That doesn't necessarily have to be the name, but we need something on that order. We need our own people to start running behind some of these stories. We are too intelligent. We have too much spirit. We have too much skill and expertise for us not to be getting to the bottom line of all these different lies and stuff that's going on. But I digress. Now, what am I so upset about? Well, this funny looking cell. Rolling Stone just did an article. Here's the cover. With this dude, little juicy little pink cell named Harry Styles. This is the cover. Y'all see it? Hold on. I have to take this off. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. So somebody say this is what your white media does. I got to break this down why it's important that we talk about this. You're not getting away with FBA culture. Talk Black to me. You're not getting away with foundational Black American culture. Y'all already trying to say you invented rap and hip hop if you don't go sit down. Well, what's wrong with the cover? Well, look, this is the problem. Let me make it bold for you. What they said. Can you see what it says there by his name, Harry Styles? Harry Styles, Harry who has no styles. Somebody say Harry who has no style. That's exactly right on code who. That's what we ought to be saying is who. And twat. Not what, but twat. God, today. That's from the dictionary, not the dictionary. Harry Styles who has no styles. Y'all see what that says? It says Harry Styles, how the new king of pop set the music world aflame. This is the music industry's attempt to find a white boy, the equivalent of basketball, knowing that white boy can't jump. So this is them trying to say, let's level this up. This is them trying to find a great white hope that's an equivalent to an archangel of music, Michael Jackson. Sit your funny looking self down. Harry Styles. Harry who has no style. Rolling Stone UK, this white publication, attempts to steal, somebody say steal. Now, for those of you who think these are just words, you are completely ignorant of how society is shaped. And one of the greatest powers of white supremacy, which is media, and they control words, beloved. Words have certain associations. This is a way to further denigrate our people and our culture. Because see, people that lack a certain type of ability, people who don't have the goddess essence within themselves, They're not content with just them being themselves. They have to disrespect you too by trying to make you look like she's not that important. He's not that important. He's a nobody. But they attack him first in the media to make him look like a nut. Do you all understand this? And they got some of you to join along with y'all's little impressionable, little fragile minds, some of y'all. They shape the narrative. They put out the pictures, the selective pictures. They put out the selective information, the selective articles. And some of you ran with it, including Oprah Winfrey. Now, I'm letting you know that white media always, they love to hide behind their Negro or Negress. Bad whatchamacallit. God, today. And Uncle Ruckus. You happy Negroes that like to run out there and be the first to attack your own in war. Publicly, loudly. And you don't have that same energy for your enemy. Now here, Rolling Stones. This is racism in music, as we know. They tried to call Elvis like he was somebody. We know he stole everything he ever had from somebody black. Rolling Stones label Harry Styles how the new king of pop set the music world aflame. Now, I decided that I wanted to show you why they feel comfortable doing this on this scale. They first had one of the most famous, one of the most popular, one of the most globally known black women on the planet, with one of the largest platforms and name recognitions ever, Oprah Winfrey. They used her to attack Michael Jackson and to murder him further through character assassination. See, with your open enemy, they know that you're more than what meets the eye. They know that you're alive, not just physically, but they know that the memory of you, God, they know that your contribution to the world is everlasting. So they, even in your death, a decade plus later, still come for you. They understand how that plays on the psyche and in the invisible force field that we live off of. Y'all play too much. So even after Michael Jackson was murdered, which we agree he was murdered, but black folks just don't believe he was murdered like they told us he was murdered. Talk black to me. The same way with Mark Lamont here. I'm sorry, Mark Lamont here. After these white so-called little writers and off-brand scholars tried to come for Malcolm X many decades after his assassination and murder. Wasn't he murdered? They weren't getting enough traction. So Mark Lamont Hill years ago wrote an article, a hit piece, with the headline, "Is Malcolm X Gay?" We know that if you associate yourself as that is obviously your choice to associate yourself with however you choose. But white society knew that to take someone, this deeply black masculine man, and what he represents in history, in the psyche of the world. They knew what that would mean by even putting that title out there. So Mark Lamont Hill, years ago, as a Black scholar, chose to write a hit piece on Malcolm X, saying, "Is Malcolm gay?" Just the proffering that question. That's the reason why we don't play about y'all's funny looking self when you come for our people, because we know the impact and the power of words. But this is also the danger that they see in us, the new Black media, who are giving you inspiration and information on a grassroots level, and we don't have a middleman to give us biscuits and the bones crumbs in order to sell us out and our people, to force feed us a narrative to give to you. Talk Black to me. But listen, thumbs up, share, share, share. Thumbs up, share, share, share. So this is what the white media does. But remember, they don't just do this in magazines. They do this in your history books. They do this through television, through the law of repetition over and over and over again. So, because they painted us as savages, when your lily white jurors are back there deliberating on county cases, state cases, and federal cases, they come back convicting you because they already have mindsets programmed in terms of how they see us. Are y'all hearing me? But Vicki, what are we talking about here? Rolling Stones disrespects Michael Jackson. But your LOM member, Oprah Winfrey, preceded them. She laid the groundwork. She was the willing step stool. She was the floor for them to build this upon. Are y'all hearing me? I see y'all's beautiful compliments. Listen, Vicki, where are you going with this? Some of you all don't remember the breakdown that I did some time back. On the murder of our brother Michael Jackson, and us asking intelligent questions and saying, no, we don't believe the narrative that we were told, because other evidence began to emerge that contradicted it. And I did a very in-depth piece some time back when other media entities were not given such in-depth information. And I'm just going to give you a little bit on this concerning why I'm bringing up Oprah and why they continue to murder our brother Michael Jackson over and over again. Did you hear what I just said? It's not enough that his body's not here. I said it's not enough that his body is not here. Listen. Oprah celebrates her birthday in St. Bart's aboard David Geffen's $300 million mega yacht, watching Michael Jackson's documentary with her best friend, Gail. Here are some of the photos. If you all follow me, you all know that I've been pulled up some of these photos from some time back. That's Oprah Winfrey celebrating her 65th birthday. This is David Geffen's yacht. David Geffen is a business media mogul, billionaire, I believe. That's him right there. That's Oprah, and that's Gail, and that's, I think, Gail's son and his friend that was there celebrating with them as well. Now, I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to miss this. Oprah's birthday is in January. This article and other similar articles came out around January 2019 talking about how Oprah celebrated her birthday. Yes? But what did she do to celebrate her birthday on his yacht, family? What were they watching, beloved? I said, what were they watching? Y'all don't miss this, because see, you all haven't been keeping up with what I did some years ago. And I did a follow-up on it a year and a half or so ago, I think. Y'all know they're messing with the algorithms. Thumbs up, share, share, share. That's okay, beloved, that the notifications haven't gone now, but continue to share. That's exactly right. You got it. On Oprah's birthday, on David Geffen's yacht, they sat up there watching the documentary of Michael Jackson leaving Netherlands, right? Watch this. Leaving Neverland, right? When did I say these articles came out on that? Around January of 2019. Is that right? Watch this. March 2019. This happens to be Rolling Stone's article that I pulled up. What does Oprah do? What does Oprah do a couple of months later? Approximately, that is. Look at, did my brother just put the link? Did my brother just pull up one of the links from the previous show that I did on there? Is Oprah betraying Michael Jackson? I did a couple of them. Thank you, brother, for finding that. Shout out to my beautiful moderators. First work meeting, my brother Warren is highlighted in blue, and my sister Rashida. Watch this. What does it say, family? Oprah interviews Michael Jackson's accuser in after Neverland preview. Y'all better listen. So she is invited by business magnate David Geffen, a powerful LGBTQ fella out in California. Michael Jackson had an enemies list, and on the top of the enemies list, it is said that David Geffen was at the top. Oprah, somebody say Lam, somebody say League of Mammy, somebody say Oprah. She, along with Gail King, another Lam member, y'all know I went after Gail because what did Gail do? Before our brother Kobe Bryant, before our brother Kobe Bryant was even buried good, Gail interviews his good friend Lisa Leslie, a black WNBA player. And guess what Gail does? She tried that same mess, and in the death of our brother, Gail asked about a white accuser accusing our brother Kobe of sexual assault, and he was never convicted of it. And thankfully, our beautiful, intelligent, beautiful black Lisa Leslie, in such a classy, feminine way, checked Gail King about bringing that mess up at that time. This is why I don't have respect for such individuals who misuse their platforms to support and embolden white supremacy and to attack their own. So Gail spends her birthday, January, on a yacht of who Michael Jackson's considered to be his top enemy. She entertains this fool. She's watching leaving Neverland, and then she turns around shortly thereafter and does this huge special. Rolling Stones cover it. That's not an accident that Rolling Stones covered this family like this. But there were others that did as well, of course. Oprah Winfrey interviews Michael Jackson's accusers in after Neverland preview. The sexual abuse survivor talks with outspoken leaving Neverland accusers for special. Did y'all hear that? That's not an accident, beloved, that she did that after viewing the documentary. And it is believed, it has been, I believe, credibly speculated that David Geffen may have had something to do with urging Oprah to attack our brother in death nearly a decade after. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Because I can't be here all day. I done did an in-depth show on it. My brother did a link for you so that you can go back and look at the many receipts that I dropped for you. Talk black to me. Now, mind you, I want you all to understand that Michael Jackson's family, his mother in particular, I believe, if I recall correctly, practically begged Oprah not to do it. Oprah knew that Black society was not going to receive it well, because when Oprah did the special, do you all know that she literally said that she would be accused of coming down against the Black man? Do you know that she used word and verbiage similar to what I just said? So she knew full well what her Black looking self was doing. And she was willing to do it for the oppressor. Somebody said, but Oprah was apparently raped. What does that have to do with anything? What? Let's stay focused, intelligent Black family. Many of us have dealt with all kinds of assaults. But that don't mean that you run your funny looking self out there and lie on somebody else. You don't do that when somebody else, the very people that you interviewed, couldn't get no traction in court. And the family begged her not to do it. And she acknowledged how Black society would see it. And she has a full history as being from someone born and raised in Mississippi like I was. The history and the lies of our open enemy. Oprah later came out. She was buddy-buddy with Harvey Weinstein, wasn't she, family? Harvey Weinstein was credibly accused and convicted of some form of sexual assault. They called out Oprah for being buddy-buddy with him for so many years. And she later, all those years later, tells a news article, a news magazine, oh, Harvey was bullying me. He would call me up and tell me who to put on my show. And she still didn't give a full-throated rejection of Harvey Weinstein. Gail King, for those of you that not keeping up with Black media. Gail King's first co-host on that morning show was this funny looking dude named Mr. Rose. Am I right, family? Charlie Rose. Is that right? Talk black to me, somebody. Y'all gonna play with me? Don't play with me. This is Gail King's former co-host. He was also considered to be a legendary host on one of PBS's shows or something like that, I believe it was. Is that right, family? Some of y'all forgot. Why is this fella no longer on the morning show with Gail King? Talk black to me, somebody. I said, somebody tell me, why is it that Charlie Rose is no longer the co-host with Gail King? Somebody just said sexual harassment. He had multiple credible sexual harassment or some similar accusation to where he stepped down. Credible. What did Gail King come out later to tell the newspaper? What did she come out to tell the world she was going to do? She told the world that that's still her buddy. That's still her friend. Y'all better stop playing with me. So I don't give a doggone if Oprah claimed back in the day she was sexually assaulted. That was terrible. That was horrible. But she loved her some Harvey Weinstein when all of the rumors was out there. And he was later convicted. Don't play with me. And Gail comes out asking questions about our brother Kobe while she's still telling the world her buddy is Charlie Rose. Their accusations were credible and in many cases proven. I got to move on because I don't want to be there all day. I'm just going through this quickly, different points and things for you to keep in mind. Listen. Listen. This is the black doctor that they claim was responsible for Michael Jackson's murder. Is that right? His death. Conrad Murray, the former doctor convicted of causing Michael Jackson's death. This is the article that talks about how he was released. This was in October 2013. That's a BBC News article. Why am I bringing this up? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. If you pull up right now or in your own time later, when you do the research, you're going to have a very hard time sifting through all these different articles to find links and receipts about Mr. Conrad's Murray's, Dr. Conrad Murray's defense. If you pull it up, you're going to see where they're all saying similar things, or they got him looking like his defense case was terrible. It was ridiculous. He hung himself. It was surely going to fail. And you got to really, really search to find an article similar to this that I'm about to read you that gives you a clue that I already shared with you in some of my previous broadcasts that I did long ago. What does this Reuters article from November 23rd, 2019 say? Read the headline, family. You are not going to find this. Try it in the first handful of articles that you're going to look for. See, the media was working together. And the media was working together because based on information and belief, based on some of the reports that are out there, and certainly based on the research from scholar Dr. Wesley Muhammad, they show where the media collaborated together to attack Michael Jackson, and that David Geffen and others in Hollywood pulled the strings to make it so, to control the narrative. For those of you that might be wondering, I'm going to give you a lot of juice that I gave in my first 2 shows on this. I did a show long ago on this, and then I did one about a year and a half, a year or something. I don't remember when I did the last one, but I did one before a while ago. Listen, if you're wondering, okay, what's the big deal with Michael, with David Geffen? Why with David Geffen? Michael Jackson was buddy with David Geffen. David Geffen was the one, based on reports, that David Geffen was the one that had Michael Jackson, suggested to Michael Jackson new people to take over his team. Michael Jackson started to hire a bunch of new people that was suggested by David Geffen, according to some reports. Listen, how did they go from being best friends, best buds, to enemies? Well, David Geffen is gay. And it is said that they were regularly throwing little parties out there with little males and stuff running around. Some said they were kind of young males in some of these parties, but for sure these little males were twitching and twirling at these little parties and stuff, swimming and stuff. God, today. Probably had on little tight little swim trunks. And some of you funny looking Negroes out there today got on skinny jeans. Baby, that's just leave that to us. But I digress. So somebody said that Michael Jackson was at one of these parties with David Geffen or something to that effect. And David Geffen made a pass at Michael Jackson. These are the reports. You better go look at all of my other shows on this. My other 2 broadcasts. At least 2 I did. To give you some context. So it was reported that David Geffen made a pass, who's gay. And that's his business to be gay. But everybody else don't have to be gay because you walk. Watch this. We don't disrespect you and we don't want you to disrespect us. Talk black. So David Geffen, it is said, made a pass at Michael Jackson. Michael rebuffed him. So for those of you funny looking Negroes out there, you was jumping on that too, calling your own brother LGBTQ. He didn't call himself LGBTQ. Michael loved women. So it is reported that Michael Jackson rebuffed him coming on to him. David Geffen, they said, was quite petty. And because he was petty and powerful, he was offended. So it is said that he made up in his mind that he was going to basically get revenge against Michael because Michael rebuffed him coming on to him. Thank you, Darnell, for your gift. Is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. Your super chat. Darnell said, make it plain, Queen. You know I am. Watch this. If you look at this book, I believe it's called Michael and Me. I didn't get a chance to pull that receipt up because it was too many I was quoting in my previous broadcast. If you look at the book, Michael and Me, I'm not going to sit here and try to cape for the entire book. I'm making certain disclaimers just like my brother, Dr. Wesley, made certain disclaimers. But there was an interesting line that the writer of that book, look it up, put in the book. She said that Michael told her about this story that David Geffen made a pass at him and Michael rebuffed him. And it is believed that, and it is said that David Geffen tried to destroy him ever since. For those of you that don't also know this little tidbit about David Geffen was also a political player with his money. Let me just give you this real quick before I go back to this Reuters story on Mr. Conrad Murray, the black doctor who they pinned the entire murder of Michael Jackson on. Watch this. That's what we're believing. We're saying that we believe it might have been murder. These are speculations, but credible ones. Listen. Watch this. Some of you may not know that David Geffen had a relationship with the Clintons. Talk black to me. He was a big, huge supporter of Bill Clinton, and he spent the night at the White House. It is reported on a number of occasions. Let me help you. Some of you may be too young to remember this, and some of you may be older and have simply forgotten. But under Bill Clinton, how many of you all remember that under Bill Clinton, the LGBTQ, there was a big thing called don't ask, don't tell. I remember that growing up. How many of y'all remember under Bill Clinton, that whole thing about don't ask, don't tell? There was a military policy that if you were gay or LGBTQ or what have you, that you don't ask. If you're not, or even if you are, you don't ask about somebody's status and you don't tell if you're gay or LGBT. That was the policy. Y'all remember that? That was what it was called. Don't ask, don't tell. Listen. Don't ask, don't tell. David Geffen, didn't I just tell you, was buddies with the Clintons, Bill Clinton. Well, David Geffen, because he was such a huge supporter and financial supporter of Bill Clinton, he wanted Bill Clinton to really push for gay rights. He was upset with Bill Clinton for settling for don't ask, don't tell. I have a quiz question for you. Who was the president that was responsible for pushing through significant LGBTQ legislation? What president was responsible? Obama. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Obama was hailed by Newsweek as what? What does that headline say? Y'all know I ain't making this up. What did Newsweek call Obama? So you got to pay attention to how the media uses language. What does it say? They called Obama the first gay president. As horrible and as terrible as Bill Clinton is, even Bill Clinton refused to go all the way. So he settled for the policy, don't ask, don't tell. David Geffen, it is said, was upset with Bill Clinton for not pushing harder for gay rights. And he held a grudge, it is said later. Guess how David Geffen expressed his grudge many years later. Whose wife, what former president's wife decided she wanted to run for president? I said, what former president's wife decided she was going to run for president? You got it, Bill Clinton. Hillary is her name, is that right? Who did a speech for the Democrats at a Democratic convention or something to that effect? An obscure senator from Illinois that hardly nobody knew nationally. Who did a little speech? Obama. Guess who called up Obama and told Obama that he was going to run for president and that they were going to support him? And guess who initially said no, they wouldn't, but yes, they did later? David Geffen contacted Obama. The billionaire business magnate contacted Barack Obama, told him he was going to run for president. Obama said no. And guess who ended up running for president? And guess who ended up being one of Obama's top financial backers? David Geffen. The one that had it out for Bill Clinton went up against Bill Clinton's wife's rival and set him up and put the money and the funds behind it. And it is believed and said that because he had strings in the press and the news and all that, they're saying also many believe that he was responsible for getting the media to make Michael look like he was a child molester and like he was gay and that he was a nut and that he was crazy and all this stuff. And they were saying all kinds of crazy stuff about him, about voodoo and some of the other dark arts that some of our people unfortunately reject, that are ignorant about the true practices of such spiritual practices. Watch this. But they made him look like a nut. Well, one of Obama's top financial backers early on is David Geffen. Tyrone says, Vicki, you are connecting the dots. Keep it going, baby. That's what I do. And I did it before, and I gave you even heavier receipts on the previous ones. I'm just trying to connect some dots with why Rolling Stones, and not just Rolling Stones, but others feel comfortable trying to character assassinate our brother Michael Jackson. And the significant role that Oprah played. Listen. Watch this. Watch this. Back to this Reuters article. If anybody should have gotten an interview, why didn't Oprah, somebody put some Oprah emojis in the chat. Why didn't Oprah interview Dr. Conrad Murray after he came out of jail, out of prison, and say, tell us your story? But she reaches over, she bends over all of that, the behind of the okra, behind her parts. She bent all the way over. Funny looking self. Bad whatchamacallits. Okra bent over her behind. and brought forth the most incredulous witnesses, so-called what is it? Victims. Funny looking self. And interviews them and just automatically calling them victims. Well, based on what? Oh, I know, based on their whiteness and based on what appears to be your closeness to David Geffen, the black man who said that was his number one enemy. Watch this. Watch this. Look it up, family. Tell me if you can find this with ease, I'm saying. Most of the news coverage about our brother Michael, the attorney, Conrad Murray, Dr. Conrad Murray, they're not telling you this part that's buried. What does it say? Yes, family. Keep giving us a thumbs up, share. And don't forget, family, you can join my new school, my spiritual school, my supernatural school, where people are getting all kind of breakthroughs and stuff for only $44. The price will change. The price will go up. Get in where you fit in. That's for a month of masterminds. Your life will never be the same. Go to VickiPlanet.com to register and enter Vicki University. Just follow the links and you can join today. That's VickiPlanet.com, VICKI Planet, PLANET.com. Watch this. Look, in case you don't remember what the black man looked like. Now, I'm not saying he's not responsible at all, but it's not what they told us it is, baby. Watch this. Michael Jackson's doctor says others gave him, meaning Michael Jackson, obviously, propofol. Listen, the media will not talk about this. Look it up. Michael Jackson's personal physician told investigators he was not the first doctor to give the pop star propofol, the powerful anesthetic that was one of the drugs to cause his death, according to court papers unsealed on Friday. Y'all listen. Dr. Conrad Murray, a target of the criminal probe into Jackson's death, recounted under questioning by Los Angeles police detective that Jackson told him he was given propofol by two unnamed doctors in Germany, the affidavit said. Oprah could have asked him about that. What bigger interview could she have possibly done than to interview the man that they said murdered Michael Jackson? How many of y'all remember Oprah used to go into the, she would do hot shows to talk to murderous white prisoners for ratings. So she could have made a trip out there. Or she could have waited because he did about a couple of years because I think he got, he didn't do the full 4 years or whatever that was he ended up getting. But he did enough time to where she could have interviewed him while he was there after he got out. Talk black to me. Watch this. Murray, a heart specialist with offices in Houston and Las Vegas, was hired to care for Jackson while the singer prepared for a series of comeback concerts in the weeks before his sudden death in Los Angeles on June 25th at the age of 50. The Los Angeles county coroner had ruled the death by a homicide by overdose, determining that propofol and the sedative, what is this called? Lorazepam, were the main drugs that caused his death. Murray previously had been identified as a target of manslaughter probe, but Los Angeles prosecutors are still determining whether to seek criminal charges against one of a number of doctors who treated the Thriller singer. Watch this. The reason why I'm bringing this to your attention, as this just said, you got to look at the articles that they came out with before they actually officially charged Dr. Murray. You got to look at stuff before the story starts to play out. Because at least it was there early on, the little bits and pieces, that there was others that were said to have been responsible for giving Michael Jackson that. Are y'all understanding what I'm talking about? Murray has admitted giving Jackson 25 milligram dose of propofol the morning he died, according to police reports. Murray told police he worried Jackson was addicted to propofol and was trying to wean him off the drug with smaller doses. The latest affidavit says Murray recalled Jackson being vague when Murray asked who else was treating him and what drugs he was being prescribed. Jackson mentioned two other doctors, his longtime dermatologist. Remember this name, family. Dr. Arnold Klein, Klein. Y'all remember your sister breaking this down sometime back? The dermatologist, that was one of two. And previous physician, Alan Metzger, quote, had given him medicine and it was not working, the affidavit said. It also says Murray arranged at Jackson's request for another doctor in Las Vegas, identified as David Adams, to give the singer propofol, which he did in Murray's presence in a third-party cosmetologist's office. The document also states that bottles of propofol were found in Murray's doctor's bag and on the bedside table of Jackson's home after his death. Watch this. Remember one of the other names, that dermatologist, right? This Arnold Klein, this Dr. Arnold Klein character. This Disney World character, looking character. Talk black to me. Who passed away a few years ago. This is his funny looking self. This dermatologist. Look at what the dermatologist said. Look at this headline here. Dermatologist Michael Jackson totally addicted to propofol. Michael Jackson was totally addicted to propofol, the surgical anesthetic. The coroner ruled killed the pop star's dermatologist said in an interview with In Session Network. Dr. Arnold Klein said he personally tried several times to prevent other doctors from administering propofol to Jackson for sleep. Boy, if you don't sit your funny looking self down, and I do mean funny looking, in the literal sense, funny looking. He says, I knew this problem existed, Klein said in the interview Saturday. I did my best to prevent it whenever I could. I prevented it, but I'm only one man, and I have to support my own life and take care of myself. Listen, Klein disputed the argument by Dr. Conrad Murray's lawyers that he addicted Jackson to Demerol in the months before his death, saying he used only low doses of the painkiller while repairing Jackson's collapsed nose and jawline. Because Demerol was not found in Jackson's blood, the judge did not allow Dr. Murray's defense to call Klein as a witness in Murray's. The judge did not allow Dr. Murray's defense to call Klein as a witness in Murray's involuntary manslaughter trial, in which jurors are scheduled to resume deliberations Monday morning, but medical records of Jackson's visit to Klein's Beverly Hills clinic were introduced as evidence. Let me tell y'all something. Black reporters and researchers have said, like our brother, Dr. Wesley, that David Geffen was able to pull strings even legally with the courts. And this is the reason why they did not even allow these other doctors to take the stand. Y'all better understand, this is what we mean when we say white supremacy. We're not saying individual white people are supreme over us. We're telling you the systems and the levers they're able to pull. They were not even allowed to call him as a witness in court. Is it so that he wouldn't perjure himself? Is it because he carried out certain instructions as a dermatologist that maybe he perhaps did not give? Which one was it? Not propofol. The Demerol. Some of our researchers have concluded that Dr. Klein, they said did give Michael Jackson propofol when Dr. Conrad Murray wasn't around. And they knew they would be able to hang that noose around Dr. Conrad's neck. And it was Dr. Conrad early on, as I just read to you before from the other report from Reuters, he had already said before he was officially charged, when they were just investigating in an affidavit, that Michael Jackson told him other doctors had been administering drugs to him. And the courts didn't even allow those other doctors, that particular one especially, to take the stand. These are just some questions in an amazing show that Oprah could have done and received high ratings. But instead, she laid the groundwork to attack our brother further, even in his death. I am not going to allow Black-looking people who are responsible for the destruction of your Black voices to go. When you hear your sister talk about white supremacy, I'm talking about the Black-looking agents too. I'm not talking about my true Black brothers and sisters. I'm talking about Black-looking devils that lead your little simple, impressionable minds astray. I say that to some of you because some of you willfully engage in lies, gossip, defamation, and slander when you should not. So I decided to link the story with the White Supremacy Magazine news article publication, Rolling Stones, because they have a long history of trying to ignore Black people. And we are the inventors of all of pop culture. And frankly, every form of music. But thank God for us, because FBA culture, FBA, for those of you that don't know, stands for Foundational Black American Culture. The culture is just as important that we hold the line on these kinds of things because we understand what it means for society. Don't you ever forget these points. I had so many other receipts in some of my previous shows. One of my other shows, I think, is a couple of plus hours long. Y'all know back in the day, your sister used to regularly do hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours plus shows. But for my health, I don't go live 5 days a week like I used to, and I had to cut down the time. But I wanted to remind you all of that. Shame on Rolling Stones. We must continue to call them out. But you must also understand that your Black-looking people who run the machinery of white supremacy are equally responsible. The same as Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill, the former ESPN athlete, talker, commentator. Jemele Hill's funny looking self. She works for the Atlantic now. After after she got fired from a major network. I'm saying fired. No, I shouldn't say fired. They put her through so much hell, she quit. Let me put it like that. Let me be official, because people come back and say, "But no, I wasn't fired. See, Vicki ain't telling the truth." Let me tell you something. If you done been in so many fights with your white networks, they done dogged you so many times, and all kind of information came out about what a hell of a time you had while you were there. They can make the condition and the environment of where you are so untenable. Fool, you quit. That they fired you, dummy. That's a slick firing. But I'm being technical because I'm being responsible media here. She technically left after they put her through hell. But Jemele Hill works for the Atlantic, a white publication. Jemele Hill used that white publication to dog Minister Farrakhan, Black Society, and other Black athletes. And she alleged that they was anti this and anti that. While she's caping for all these white folks, She said that Minister Farrakhan's work, she labeled his work as vile. Think about that. She used that white publication to attack black people. I wish I would. That's why I give these LOMs this everlasting work. And LOM wannabe inductees like Rolanda Martina. I gotta go, family. It's really late here in Colorado for me. But I have a long appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to miss being with you live tomorrow. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, share. Again, don't worry about the notifications not going out at the right time. The right people hear this broadcast. You all know that I've helped to build so many other large platforms, and now I'm doing it for myself because I don't have access to most of those places. Thank God I'm still with my brother African Diaspora News Channel, but I left some of the other networks due to some situations, but it's my time to build for myself. Let everybody know that your sister with the curly braid is live weekly here at Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube. But my main platform is my website at Vicki Planet, because I'm doing so many other yummy things. I don't just have one platform. Talk black to me. I'm not just a YouTuber. I use YouTube and many other social media platforms to reach you because you're here. But I'm also on Instagram, Vicki X Dillard. I'm also on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I'm also on Facebook at Vicki Dillard as well. And I'm newly on Twitter at I am Vicki Dillard. We're going to keep growing. I also have a new podcast under the show On Purpose with Vicki, where we're streaming on Spotify, Google, and Apple. On Purpose with Vicki. I'm going to be doing another new a podcast. I just dropped another one. We reintroduced ourselves there now, starting afresh. It is so yummy. All you got to do is Google On Purpose with Vicki Dillard, and all three platforms will come up, and you just subscribe to all of them, family. I love you so much. Don't let anybody stop our voices and confuse you about the truth. We're going to call them all out. And we're going to tell you the stuff that the rest of them won't. I used to give all kind of heavy detailed stuff, but your sister has to move quick now. I love you so much. Share this broadcast. Be sure to join Vicki University. You can get in on my weekly, a month's worth of masterminds for really 3 weeks for most of the month. Each week, most of the weeks, you're going to find that you're going to get yummy spiritual insight. VickiPlanet.com. Not religious insight, but spiritual insight that will shape your entire life. Oh, thank you, Angie B, for your gift. She said, Queen, you were on fire. Thank you, beloved. All of you that gave your gifts are blessed 1,000 folks. Also, I cannot forget, so many of you give to my Cash App at $OPWVICKI. Some of you give to my PayPal, my PayPal at onpurpose@ymail.com. Family, it's impossible for me to thank you all, but just know you keeping the war chest fat for your sister with the curly braids here, repping independent grassroots black media means the world. I thank you so much. Don't forget also to check out my article, my recent magazine article. They did a beautiful feature of me at Voyage ATL, Voyage Atlanta. So all you got to do is pull that up and you'll see me there. You'll see a link also in my Instagram, Twitter. And I think I even posted about it on my community page right here on YouTube. Love you so much, baby. We're just getting started. So many other yummy projects coming at the end of the year, beginning of next year. I can't wait to see you again. Mwah.